welcome to another episodic podcasting adventure. It's Talkamania.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another outrageous, awesome, super fantastic episode. It's Talkamania. And I'm your co-host, Desmino, here with your other co-host, the one you don't care as much about, but you pretend you do, J-Bomb. I guess you can say hello.
Hi. What's up, man? How's it going?
That's going all right. We're on the road to Wrestlemania. I'm getting excited. With every week that passes by, we are that much closer to our destination.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to get in that car, to drive across the border, hit up the great state of New York, and eat some New York-style pizza, baby.
Yeah, you've been talking about that pizza. For those of you guys who don't know Jay and you haven't seen him, he likes his pizza.
Love pizza.
He likes his beer.
Love beer.
He likes his anything that goes into his mouth. He likes it. Oh, wait. Well, not everything. Well, yeah, maybe. But, we're looking forward to it. I'm going to be eating some of that pizza, too. I like the pizza over there.
That's good.
Excited. We're going to be in New York City, New Jersey. It is happening soon, guys. It is going to be off the hook, and we hope you're going to be there enjoying yourself as well. So if you guys weren't following us, we did a live show this past Sunday with full press coverage.
Yep.
Full Press Wrestling. Check them out, guys. It was a lot of fun. And it was even more fun because our Bobo friend J-Bomb lost power right before the show was about to kick off.
Shit happens, man. I got bad luck, eh? When we did the Mick Foley interview, I lost power right before we had it as well.
Thank God it came back for that one. We wouldn't have had a second chance.
Yeah, we would not have had a second chance.
He would have said, "Have a nice day."
Bang, bang!
But it was a lot of fun. It was great, yeah. So we're not going to be doing the one this month because we're going to be at WrestleMania. We'll have some other surprises and fun things in store, bringing you along for the journey. But we'll be back at it once we return. But guys, check it out if you didn't. It was a fun listen. We had some people calling in. We fielded some cool questions and gave our predictions once again, which were pretty good. I thought the predictions were pretty good overall.
Yeah, they threw us some swerves, though.
They did throw some swerves. Yeah. They made the U.S. title a triple threat. Four-way. Four-way. They made the WWE title match a triple threat, throwing Mustafa Ali in there. We'll talk about that in a bit. Things have been pretty good over here. We're approaching spring, and we just got to put the clocks forward an hour. We got a little bit extra sunlight.
It's sunny outside right now as we're recording, which is beautiful.
It's a bit gloomy for me. It was sunny yesterday, but I would say over here it's gloomy.
It's snowing here.
Is it?
I just noticed.
No snow here.
Fuck. Jesus.
But that was exciting. And I also had my family down for the weekend. My sister, my brother-in-law, and my niece. She's about 4 or 5 years old now. Really smart kid. And I decided to show her some wrestling.
Oh.
Yeah, it was exciting because her parents are a bit protective. They want to make sure that she, I guess, is exposed to the right material, educational stuff, not like fluffy, throwing them in front of SpongeBob and letting their brain melt.
And
although there's nothing wrong with SpongeBob, folks.
They let you interact with her, and they're protective?
I'm not smoking bongs with her yet. Come on. No. I'm just joking, guys. I would not do that. Unless she was like, maybe 16, 17, and then, said, "Hey, Uncle Mike, do you wanna fire up a doobie?" And we'll see then. But don't tell my sister probably wouldn't care anyways. Anyways, guys, back to what I was saying. I showed her some wrestling. I showed her that really amazing match. I wanted to show it to my brother-in-law, actually. It was the match between Io Shirai and Kairi Sane, the one that I had showed you, J-Bomb, that you really liked. I think it was the G1, or it was a tournament that they had, and it was a phenomenal match. Then she started kind of watching and getting interested. Then I showed when Hogan and Macho Man formed the Mega Powers. which was a really cool segment. And then, just to blow the mind of my brother-in-law and my sister, I showed them the halftime heat match, which I went back and watched, and it's such a good match.
Very, very, very good.
Just spot after spot. Yeah, Shawn Michaels is announcing, or commentating, so I mean, it's an extra treat. He's flabbergasted at what he's seeing on the screen, and it was a lot of fun. And my niece was just kind of like jumping up around the couch, doing like wrestling moves to herself, and she was asking lots of questions like, what is it good? Is it bad? Do they hate each other? And we explained the concept of good guy, bad guy. And as we went on, she started catching things really quickly. Like, oh, that's the good guy. That's the bad guy. And we explained that when you like super kick or you hit somebody, you'll slap your leg. And she started eyeing it out and being like, oh, I saw him slap his leg. Or, oh, yeah, it sounds good. And she'd be on the couch like kicking and slapping her leg. And it's really cute. So I planted the seed, and I'm going to be passing on the passion, hopefully, to my niece. And it was exciting. It was a good way to wrap up the weekend.
Oh, I got shit-faced all weekend because my kids and my wife were out of town. So I did nothing wholesome. It was just...
Yeah, I've been seeing some of her photos. I'm pretty jealous. Man, Sydney, I guess that's one of J-Bomb's children, and was having Fruit Loops looking out of the ocean. And I'm like, damn, I would have loved... I was basically thrown in the corner with a peanut butter sandwich when I was a kid, so living the life.
Yeah, my kids are little bastards. Lucky them. They're on a cruise with their mom and... my wife and... my mother-in-law. So they're getting spoiled. I'm at home, picking up the slack, staying here for Talkamania. We got a job to do. We got a job to do.
All right, guys. Before we move on, J-Bomb and I, those listeners that were listening, we had that bet about Abyss that went back weeks. I did it. I ate the nasty cat food.
Yes,
we posted it on social media. Check out YouTube. That's all I want to talk about it. It was nasty, and we're moving on. Ugh.
Sucker.
All right, guys. Follow us @_Talkamania. You can check out our podcast, Podbeans, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podtastic kick. Follow, reach out, check the sites, and be homies with our homies, The Chair Shot, Full Press Coverage, The Daily Smart, Blog Talk Radio, and BodySlam.net.
And be sure to follow our partners on the Twitter machine, Full Press Wrestling. That's @FPC_wrestling. Buy some merch, support the show, ProWrestlingTees.com/Talkamania. If you hate video games and you don't want to watch anything online, follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Talkamaniacs, and get on Instagram, look up @_Talkamania, because we're going to be sharing our WrestleMania journey on Instagram stories. So get on there.
We're gonna vlog it, right? Too.
We're gonna vlog it. Yeah, we'll be uploading that to our YouTube, and then in the meantime, during the day, you can check in for live updates on Instagram, which is gonna be a lot of fun.
J-Bomb taught me to say vlog and not vlog. So
yeah, and he's in the tech industry, and he was calling it vlog, and I was just...
Yeah, but you know what, man? I don't even have Instagram. I don't do that shit.
Cringy.
I'm very humble. You see me on Facebook. I'll post like once a year on Facebook. I don't really go on outside of news and stuff. So. Twitter I like, but just for the news sources and to have fun with all you guys, all the Talkamaniacs.
That's it.
So, on that note, guys, we're on the road to WrestleMania officially.
Yeah.
Like, this shit is real now, and we just passed this weekend having Fastlane. I went in it with a bit lower expectations, and it was all right. It wasn't a terrible event. J-Bomb's giving a little bit of a wrinkly face over here.
I was in and out of sleep.
He's upset.
In and out of sleep.
Not because he's upset, but his face is just generally wrinkly. But yeah, he was telling me you fell asleep. What happened, baby?
Well, it was just like I fell asleep during Shane and Miz because it was just boring, and we knew it was going to happen.
That match?
Yeah.
That was actually a really good match.
Ugh.
It is.
Couldn't tell you.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's it. You couldn't tell me because it was pretty hot, pretty off the hook. I was going into it being like, man, they're going to be fighting the Usos. The Usos are going to make them look bad, but they hung in there pretty well. A lot of really cool spots. Shane did the coast to coast, but the one of the Uso brothers was on the other end trying to intercept him and basically caught him midair.
I did see that.
Miz tried to go up the top rope, got caught, got rolled up, and I don't know. I liked it. Overall the match was pretty good for me. Firing on all cylinders. I maybe wasn't too thrilled with the way that Shane did his turn. I was hoping it was going to be the Miz, but in hindsight, I completely see why they did it. a lot of people were saying, I called it. I called the Shane turning. Well, personally, I felt that was the easy choice to make here. And guys, think about it. This is all to do with The Miz's reality show.
Oh, really?
He's a nice guy.
Oh, true.
He's a nice guy. They don't want to make him look bad. They want to have this storyline of him going into WrestleMania, having this big matchup. They can bring cameras around. They can put it on his TV show. It makes more sense this way. So in the end, I'm not surprised. And if I really took that into consideration ahead of time, because I don't watch The Miz and Mrs.
It's good.
I know. I hear it's good. But I may have pieced that together. Because remember with Temptation Island, they did the whole Uso, Mandy, Temptation, so... It goes to show you this is basically their match at WrestleMania that's going to tie in with The Miz and Mrs. But Shane turned heel, and he grabbed Shane's dad by the potato face. I think he called it on SmackDown. And he beat down The Miz. It was a little bit aggressive, but crowd ate it up. They were really, really, really giving him lots of heat. So that's ultimately what they went for. Ultimately, the match, though, for me was good. I liked it. Usos, Miz.
There was just nothing memorable from the pay-per-view that stuck. Like, I woke up during the Becky and Charlotte match, and Ronda Rousey came out. It was just such a shitty ending. Ronda's just as cringeworthy as a heel. Her shit on Raw, I didn't find that good either. I don't know. I wasn't feeling WWE this week. Maybe I'm just sour, but...
I don't think the Becky and Charlotte match delivered really either. It was a bit of a flop. It was the match probably that I was looking forward to the most. A lot of us were. And I guess you can make an argument that Becky had a crutch, so she was really kind of defending herself the whole time. But it's kind of stupid because the very next day she doesn't have a crutch anymore. Yeah. And I don't know. But the way that Becky came out, the match was a bit short. There wasn't too many spots. And then Ronda came out and just, punched Becky once?
That's it.
And then that was it, and walked away, and that was it. So that's why it wasn't your main
It was like a shitty Raw. That's what it felt like.
Yeah,
Fastlane
it wasn't
felt like
great.
I'll give it this. I rewatched it. The matches were all pretty good.
Yeah, I rewatched it too.
They weren't bad.
They were mostly pretty good.
But there was just it could have not happened. There would have been no difference.
The two stinkers for me were Asuka versus Mandy.
Yeah.
Thought the match was pretty bad. They didn't take the opportunity to start telling a story for Asuka heading to WrestleMania. Instead, they're telling a story for Mandy. The finish was kind of sloppy. And even this week, too, on SmackDown, we saw Asuka go up against Sonya Deville. And then the match, I didn't even understand what happened, really. Mandy got tied up on the apron, or Sonya did, and there was a miscommunication, but it looked like there was a botched finish. So much so that they didn't even replay the finish afterwards.
I think she was supposed to fall on the apron, right? Like fall on the skirt?
I thought like Mandy was supposed to tie her up on the apron, the skirt or something. Like, okay, Mandy was there. Like, Mandy was acting weird, like she got hit, but she hadn't gotten hit. Like, I don't know. The whole thing was a clusterfuck. And they didn't replay it because I was waiting to rewatch it. They didn't. So obviously they're leading towards Mandy and Sonya Deville. And I don't know if that means they're both going to be put into a title match against Asuka. If it's going to be a big, fatal 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 way battle royale. Who knows? We don't know really where that title's going. It's one of the, I guess storylines or lack of storylines that we really don't know where they're headed on, because this week they threw together a few matches for WrestleMania. This one, we are not sure yet. But that match for me,
there wasn't.
And my other match that I was going to say wasn't good was the women's tag team title match. I thought that was pretty bad across the board. Tamina, Nia, dropping those girls around, couldn't hold them up, botched moves, botched dives, big part of it is when Sasha wrestles with Tamina. I'm not trying to defend Sasha too much, but I'm not going to. It wasn't good.
So what did you like about Fastlane then? What did you like about Fastlane?
I liked the U.S. title match. I thought that was great. I liked it. Lots of spots, lots of great talent in there. Rey Mysterio, Andrade, R-Truth, Samoa Joe put on a good match. It was exciting. I even somewhat liked Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, and Ali match, right? There was a swerve putting Ali in there. It was a weird match, but there were some good spots, and I actually went back and watched it, and it wasn't that bad. And one that might be unpopular, Rusev Nakamura versus New Day was a really good opener,
Was
man.
it? Yeah.
Really good. Yeah, really good opener. A lot of false finishes. The match went on really long. They told a good story, and it leaves me questioning what's going to happen now with Nakamura and Rusev. I think we're going to get this big tag team match at WrestleMania with a whole bunch of them thrown in there. It's funny to see Nakamura being in the championship picture and then being thrown into this. But a year later,
Seems like they're
but it is what it is.
seems like they're trying to put this like different focus on the tag team division all of a sudden.
I also feel like they just are trying to get everybody in the card. So they're throwing them into tag teams and then just throwing everybody into matches. I mean, we're seeing that across the board pretty much. So, we'll see. The Raw tag team titles too. I don't know if it's just going to be a one-on-one match. It looks like, Gable and Rude are trying to get their way in there, and some other tag teams possibly as well. So we'll see. The Shield match itself, I thought that was pretty good. I'm not a Shield fan, but it gave the fans what they wanted, sent them home happy, and they kicked ass, delivered one last time. And, for me, it was perfect for what they were trying to do. I would have liked kind of like maybe a swerve at the end or something, but, they didn't need it. It's Fastlane. For a Fastlane pay-per-view, so, I guess.
Yeah, and then we saw on Raw, the Shield moved. They're moving towards the road to WrestleMania. They stated, it's Seth's turn. He's going forward. He's going to fight Brock Lesnar. And then Shelton Benjamin shows up on Raw. Pretty surprising. Pretty cool, actually. Not going to lie. I don't mind the slight repackage for him. Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I like that he's on Raw now and gives more time. And maybe now he'll actually have a chance to wrestle a little bit more. SmackDown's a bit hard. We often see talent being left off, and Benjamin's had been left off for months, maybe. It's been a while, except for dark matches, maybe. But him and Brock have history. I think they went to same college. I know I'm totally gonna slaughter this. I don't know 100% their history. But they trained together. I think they went to college together or wrestling together. I don't know. They go way back. Let's just say that, all right? And there's some pictures of them back when they were in their heyday. So there is that history there. I'm assuming that maybe he's going to be there to have his back next week. I don't know. Maybe after Lesnar takes some time off after WrestleMania, if he does, maybe Heyman's going to help push Benjamin. It doesn't seem like a weird pairing, but I'm all for giving that guy a little bit more steam because in my opinion, he's always been very underrated, and I like Benjamin. So, cool, great for him. Just sucks when you see him get repackaged, having to lose immediately, but no-brainer.
He's going
Seth
against
Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, cool is what it is. But we'll get Lesnar next week. We'll see what happens, and I guess we'll go from there. And one thing, though, I wanted to talk about. The Intercontinental Championship. Balor pretty much just won it not too long ago off Bobby Lashley. And here we are, not too much longer later after the fact, Bobby Lashley wins the IC title back again this week, heading in to WrestleMania. What do you think?
I mean, is there anything to really think about? It's so typical. What are they doing to this title? What are they doing to the Intercontinental title? It's hot potatoing it. I guess Finn Balor's going to win it back at WrestleMania. I don't understand. Why didn't he just defend it at WrestleMania against Bobby Lashley or a new competitor? I don't know. Leo Rush is back. I guess that's cool, but really?
Or not have won it yet at all and then win it finally at WrestleMania.
There you go.
That was going to be the big payoff. I even said weeks back, I'm surprised he'd won it so early. I thought the payoff could have been good at WrestleMania. I think it's a bit weird. But maybe, he's going to win it back. Maybe they're going to have a multi-man match and Seth's going to be part of it. I don't know. It's a bit silly. Maybe we'll find out more guys. Be patient. Maybe there's a story to be told at WrestleMania.
I don't think there's anything to be excited about for this.
There'll be no stories told at
I don't
WrestleMania.
think so. I think this is a dead time. I think, honestly, I don't think WWE can write two stories at once. I don't think they can. And it's frustrating. It's just super freaking frustrating. That's all I got to say.
I'll say one thing, though. When Bobby Lashley came out during his entrance, I was like, oh, no Leo Rush? And a small part of me, not even a medium part of me was like, damn, I kind of liked him with Leo Rush, and they should bring back Leo Rush with him. And then to have Lio Rush kind of be involved in the end of the match, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Lio Rush, awesome.
Yeah.
So there was, I saw a photo or a video, basically backstage where Lio was holding the belt. He gave it to him, and, he's like, I told you I'd make it up to you. And then when he parted to take the belt off Lio kind of had a hard time letting it go.
Ooh.
So I don't know if this is going to lead to a crazy matchup between a behemoth and a grasshopper. But it could be interesting, or at least having him in the mix could be cool. I don't know. We'll see what happens with this Intercontinental Championship picture. A lot of question marks. Really strange. I can only imagine that they're going to go to WrestleMania, which is stupid because it just goes to show you the whole like not getting a rematch thing is bullshit because everybody's getting rematches.
It's the biggest load of
right.
shit. It's the biggest load of shit. I mean, obviously we have to have Finn Balor at WrestleMania. Obviously we have to have the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania.
Maybe we get the Demon. I don't know. They got to find a good excuse to use him, though. They can't just pull him out of nowhere. Because that was the whole thing. They don't want to use him unless it's a good reason. So if they use him without a good reason, then it's just like, well, what the... What are you doing?
Bobby
man?
Lashley is not a good reason to use the Demon, but if we're there, it's a good reason to see the Demon.
Yeah.
So I'll take that.
I remember watching NXT when he fought, I think it was Joe, and he came out in his Demon gear, and he also had a chainsaw.
What?
It's like super bad.
Really?
Yeah, he had a chainsaw with it. It was pretty cool.
In NXT?
Yeah.
Shit, I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey comes out, cuts a real promo again. I get it. I was buying what they were, selling as far as her cutting promos on the internet on RondaRousey.com. Not a fan of her doing it in the ring on Raw. I think it's silly. I'm like, what are you doing? Like this, I get that kayfabe's dead, but this is just like, how can this be a storyline? How can you make a...
I didn't think the promo was that bad. I mean, again, I try to I readjust my bar knowing who it is, and considering her experience, and now kind of it's better to do what she's doing now than what she's been doing all along.
She makes my dick hurt, and not because she's a woman. I'm saying the cringy feeling you get in the pit of your stomach. I get it from her. I get it from Dean Ambrose.
It wasn't that bad this week. I'm very alone on this. I know because I've looked on the social media, but she's not a wrestler. She's a retired ultimate fighter trying to be a wrestler. Her promo skills aren't very good. She's been thrown into the fire. She's only been there for a year. I know I'm giving her a little bit of
too much credit.
Maybe, but I don't think it's too bad. Her promo really wasn't that bad this week. But I don't want to talk about her promo right now. Let's talk about Dana Brooke.
Dana Brooke killed it. I loved her promo compared to Ronda's.
I thought it was pretty good, too. A lot of people were bashing her, saying, what the hell is she doing? She's incoherent. Get this girl out of there.
I like Dana Brooke.
I don't know, man. I like people who are going to go out there and try to make the most out of their opportunity. Dana Brooke's been frustrated for a long time. People are saying, look at her face. She looks like she's got plastic surgery and all this shit. Dude, guys, she just wasn't wearing any makeup. And that's her normal face. And she was talking about that. She's like, she wanted people to see her. Not the girl who goes out and puts on tons of makeup. Not who goes to the gym and puts on all kinds of muscle. You saw she was toned down a little bit too. So, I don't know. Maybe she got inspired by Becky. She's trying to reinvent herself. She went out there. She got emotional. And she got kicked in the stomach really damn hard, man. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Man,
and then Ronda almost broke her neck.
That was the part I did not like. Very sloppy. She tried to do her move, grabbed onto the arm instead of the head, and she came within millimeters of concussion, broken neck, stinger, you name it. Really, really nasty. I think even her, she was kind of like, how am I not dead? You could kind of see her pop her head up and she's like, what? Where am I? How? What? But that kick to the stomach was really stiff. I'm surprised she wasn't pooping a little bit of blood later on, but poor girl.
Oh,
but yeah, nice to see her do that. I don't know what's going to come out of it, but at least, it's something memorable, and good for her, man. Good for Dana Brooke.
Yeah, whatever. I know a lot of people are saying, I don't think you're that alone with the Ronda Rousey, because every week they kind of compare Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda's promos to one another. And I was reading a lot of people said that Ronda Rousey won this week. And I don't know, her delivery, okay, it makes me cringe, but I get it. She's not a WWE superstar. She's not a promo specialist. It wasn't so much her delivery, it was just the fact that they're using this as a storyline, that she's openly saying that wrestling is fake and that she could beat everybody up. It's just...
But then when she gets her hands on Becky, she fake fights.
Yeah, and then she's like, and I'm the champion of fake fighting, and she holds up the title. And I'm like,
it is a bit confusing.
I don't get this. What are you doing? Like, I don't know. Vince McMahon's got to be fucking with people, man.
It's almost over. We're almost there.
I feel like there could have been, I don't know.
Well, Becky and Charlotte's promos were basic this week. Nothing special.
I agree.
So her getting the win on that, fine. Normally, Becky or Charlotte would blow her out of the water. I just like what she's doing more now in terms of not trying to be a face, being a bit more aggressive and not caring, quote unquote, and just kind of playing like, the fans are booing her and she's like, screw the fans.
Yeah, but it's so cheap, man. She's like so scripted. She is so scripted.
Oh, well, what do you expect? You're going to expect her to go out there and cut a promo like The Rock?
No, but I think that if she seriously went on RondaRousey.com and put a video out there saying that I'm not going to do what they say, I'm not going to follow their script, and then literally comes out the next week and follows their script and then tells everybody that she's...
Well, that's supposed to be her not following their script.
So
it's kind
bad.
Of like,
it's...
Yeah,
I don't care about all you
I know.
bitch fan... Oh, man. And stop fucking throwing the microphone, man. Like...
She always throws it at the wrong time, too, while she's talking, so you miss, like, the last word she says.
I hate when anybody drops the mic. Because if everybody drops the mic, there is no more mic drops. And everybody in wrestling drops the mic now. Everybody does it. Like, whoever is paying... Whatever budget they have for microphones in the WWE, holy shit, those are not cheap. Those are not cheap.
I remember reading in the past that McMahon would really be pissed off when people would throw the mic or drop the mic, and they'd actually make you buy a new mic.
Like, stop dropping the mic, get me some fucking pyro.
Oh. A lot of people are like, what the fuck's up with you guys at Pyro? I know our buddy at Boot to the Face, Chris Rucker, was talking about that too. He's like, what is with all you guys and wanting this Pyro? It's overrated and all this shit. And I get it.
No, it's not.
But I wanted at least a pay-per-views, man.
Dude,
at least a pay-per-views.
Go back and watch like any entrance on Nitro, any entrance on Raw and SmackDown from a few years back, and you're like, oh, here comes Brock Lesnar again. And then there's this Pyro, and you're like, oh shit, exciting.
Now it looks ridiculous when he comes out and the Pyro's not there.
Yeah. Like, what would Goldberg do?
I think Goldberg did have it. I think they did have it at least for him.
They did have it.
He's the exception. Brock should be an exception too, just in his contract.
Pay-per-views.
Not showing up unless I get my sparklers.
Pay-per-views should be the exception. At least the top 4 or 5. Come on.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, they should be able to cut budget in other places. Like that card that Strowman ripped up.
Well, that was not a card.
Like, no, it wasn't. It was like tiny piece of plastic. All the pieces were coming off very easily. It's like an IKEA put together yourself car.
Let's talk about this actually real quick. Are you familiar with Colin Jost and Michael Che?
On SNL? Yeah, I mean, Weekend Update, I do watch it. They're funny guys, but I'm not enjoying this whole thing on Raw.
Are we actually going to get Braun Strowman? Is that his WrestleMania moment? Is it going to be ruined 2 years in a row? Was it last year that he tag teamed with Nicholas?
Absolutely.
Okay, so this year he's going to, like, I don't know, whatever, beat up Colin Jost. I don't understand. Braun Strowman's a face. Why is he the one, like, doing this?
I think, well, this guy, the guy who called wrestling fake, is the heel.
But Colin Jost and Michael Che cannot be heels. Like, they're like,
I think the other guy is not a heel. He's kind of the voice of reason, and then the other one is like, hey, wrestling's fake, and his mouth's gonna get into trouble. I see them like, or at least him, running from Braun the whole show in the backstage, then getting in a car, and then Braun like flips the car, or something like that.
You're right.
And Braun's also gonna be like on SNL before WrestleMania or something like that. He'll show up there or something. You'll see.
That is a good.
He'll show up on Weekend Update. He'll show up on Weekend Update or some shit. It'll be okay. I'm a little bit let down because they've ruined Braun enough times, but now that I know they've ruined him, whatever. It seems like they're grasping at straws to find him something to do. I was talking with a buddy of mine at work today, and we were saying how terrible that thing with Nicholas was last year, and it really was the worst thing they could have done for Strowman at that point in time. But then I kind of thought to myself, but I said, man, the only way that angle is ever going to work and could ever have a payoff is if in like 10 years, Nicholas is a wrestler, and then before Braun Strowman retires, they actually become tag team champions again. That would be pretty cool, man. I think that'd be pretty cool.
It would make something really shitty a little less shitty.
Less shitty, yeah.
I don't know if it'd be really
cool. It was that
cool.
shitty, though.
Yeah, that's true.
It would be all right. It'd be all right. But yeah, so the car that he destroyed, get this, guys, he destroyed the car And that night, before Raw is even over, it was on Raw, right? It was
Yeah,
on
it was
Raw
on
or was it
Raw.
on Fastlane?
Raw.
It was on Raw, right? Before Raw is even over, WWE is selling Braun Strowman and a car smashed up. The exact car that he smashed up. Like with the same smash
Like a
on the
toy?
windshield. The toy, yes. Exact same car, same smash on the window where he touched it with his pinky and it smashed. Like, they knew ahead of time, so this was just so stupid, man. Like,
Well, I mean, I knew it was going to
so
be fake.
dumb.
But that was the worst. What's with their obsession, their fetish with Braun Strowman fucking cars?
Or just, like, I don't know, have something else that he could destroy. He's done enough, you know? Like, let's have him. What could he destroy next?
Roman Reigns.
Well,
You wanna get him
he
over,
spent a
have
lot of
him
time
destroy
doing
him, yeah.
that. But people like Roman now, so maybe it would be the other way around.
Yeah, maybe, but
like-
I still think everybody would appreciate Braun Strowman destroying Roman Reigns. I think it was definitely the peak of his career, and it's a shame that it went the way it did.
Yeah. They dropped it while it's hot.
And you know what? I don't know, and this is probably super unpopular, but my least favorite segments every freaking week, every pay-per-view, is Ladies and Gentlemen, Elias. It's gone on too far, man. He's great. I get it. He's good at what he does, but he's not good enough to keep doing the same thing over and over and over. Like The Miz could do it. The Miz did it for a long time, and it was always pretty good. But Elias, I'm just fucking sick of it, man.
Yeah, but The Miz got good like 8 years into it, right? Elias is like, what, 4 years into it? So give him some time. I liked him as a face. I thought that was really fun. And then they turned him back heel just for Jeff Jarrett. And then now he's just stuck as a heel. And Jeff Jarrett was there for 2 weeks.
He's
So
never.
it was really stupid.
He's never in a real storyline. He should be making
No.
songs up about who he's fighting, like he did with Braun for a bit.
Well, he does. He does. That's what he
Yeah,
kind
but
of
he's
does.
just-
It's just now he's got no storyline.
He's
And then they
never
give him
had
complicated song. They had him trying to play Tuesday's Gone at Fastlane, and like that's a really complicated song, and he was fucking it up left and right. Like, you know, his guitar playing skills, he knows what he knows, but like
He's poo-poo.
he's not that great. But you know what? I do want to see him in a good program. He seems like he's getting upset now when people are interrupting him because it's happening more and more. Where does he fit into WrestleMania is a big question I have. I assume, just like he did at Fastlane, he's going to sit there, play music in the ring. I really hope there's brighter things in store for him as the year progresses. I still, in my mind, look at Elias and think he could be a big player if you give him the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Ooh,
So
no,
he would
I would
be my
agree.
pick
I would
this year.
agree. Money in the Bank would work for him. It'd actually be perfect for him. Good point. But lately he's just been hot garbage, as Xavier Woods would say.
Hot Garbaggio.
Yeah, speaking of hot garbage, Alexa Bliss is our host for WrestleMania 35.
Oh. Don't like that? Not a fan of that, eh? Made sense to me.
She's
It's
got to
obvious.
be injured.
I
man.
knew it was going to be her.
Yeah, I get it. Once she
No.
came, what do we need a host for? We already have the correspondence. What is it? Like literally, everybody has to be on the show, eh? That's it.
Because that's it. This is exactly it. They're just trying to get everybody in the show on the card, and Alexa Bliss is
Why
one.
aren't we on the show?
Well, we'll get there. Maybe next year.
It's driving me crazy.
I got an invite, but I wanted to fly first class, and they wanted us in economy. So fuck that shit.
Oh wow, look at this guy, eh?
But yes, Alexa Bliss was very predictable. I kind of when I heard she was going to announce it, I was like, okay, well, it's obviously going to be her. She doesn't have anything else going on. She did a bratty way of announcing it, and maybe it'll be fun. She'll do what she does. But yeah, it's a bit weird because she claims to not be injured, but they're not even booking her in matches. Maybe they're just really taking her out of the picture because the last 2 years has been Alexa Bliss heavy at WrestleMania.
So
maybe this year they're just saying, hey, let's give the other women a chance. So I don't know.
is she
It could be fun.
Is she even going to be in the Battle Royal?
We don't even know if there's a battle royale yet. I'm assuming, and I don't think it will be. It'll probably be like a fatal 5-way or a fatal 4-way. That makes me really nervous too, because then you'll see Asuka lose to Lana or something. And dude, I don't know, man. Part of me would want to walk out that arena, but
Yeah,
my
right.
wallet and the money I spent on it won't let me. Dude, I'm telling you.
I think
man,
it's
if Lana
time,
walks out
Des.
as champion.
The WWE Vince McMahon hates Asuka. You got to accept it. It's not going to happen.
I just hope Triple H can maybe we'll get lucky and McMahon will retire or something, and Triple H will gather full free reigns with the talent, and that guy knows how to use talent a little bit better.
A lot of bit better.
He knows how to, well, that's it. But yeah, I'm a bit sad about that. Oh, dude, speaking of Asuka, guys, go check out the workout. Sheamus and Asuka do a workout on YouTube. Sheamus has a cool channel. You can subscribe to it where he works out with various superstars and goes through rigorous routines. Asuka was this week. It was a lot of fun, and she actually took him to the limit. And yeah, it's cool to see that side of wrestlers, and it's fun.
Nobody is ready for Asuka!
Especially Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
We got Aleister Black and Ricochet headed towards the Raw Tag Team titles, or continuing to go towards the Raw Tag Team titles.
I'm telling you, man, I called it, and I mean, it's not like I'm special or anything. It was pretty obvious.
It was very obvious. Yeah.
That's gonna be their WrestleMania moment. They're gonna win the Raw Tag Team titles at WrestleMania. I think it'll be another multi-man match. But yeah, at first, it was weird seeing these guys together because they had been single wrestlers for so long.
It works.
Their chemistry didn't initially click with me. I was like, that's going to be a bit weird, but it works. I like the way these guys wrestle. I like that, cheap double backflip they do each match where they land in the ring.
Good.
Yeah, a lot of what they do is good. Just watching Halftime Heat, like I was saying earlier, go back and watch that, guys, if you haven't. One of the best matches I've seen all year, if not maybe the best NXT match I've seen all year. So that's exciting, and it's going to be cool to see Black, Ricochet at WrestleMania. That means it opens up a lot more spots on NXT. Ciampa's out as well, too, with the neck injury. They haven't announced him being stripped of the title. He's got it. Basically, there's a photo of him online with a neck brace, and he's holding his title, clutching it like he normally does, and his title has a neck brace on.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, that guy's gold.
And basically said, me and Goldie are recovering, or we're on the fast lane, #fastlane to recovery. And it was cool. So I don't know, man. Maybe they won't strip him of the title, or maybe they'll have it'd be cool. Let's do a new championship match, and then when he comes back, they could do the whole Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon title versus title. That could be fun.
They should always do that. They do that in UFC, so they should always do that in WWE. Like, even when Finn Balor came back, you don't necessarily have to have two belts, but it's just like, okay, going into this match, there's no championship advantage. You have to beat the guy who left, the guy who relinquished the title, and that's just, if you're going to remove, and I'm saying, quote-unquote, remove rematch clause, at least give us that. It'd be cool.
Yep. I'm with you. Hey, I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Yay or nay, were you a fan of Beth Phoenix's return? Or her returning in the ring?
I missed all of Beth Phoenix. I've heard you talk about her. Cool. I was never a big fan of Edge, so her being married to Edge doesn't do anything for me.
Well, that happened after the fact. Like, they were both gone, I think, from the WWE when they got married.
On top of that, I have trouble telling the difference between her and Natty sometimes.
Really?
No, I'm joking. But I always thought Beth Phoenix was Canadian, and then when I looked her up, she's from the North, but not Canada.
But
North.
she heavy Canadian influences. She liked the Hearts. I think she spent some time in Canada as well too. She's married to a Canadian.
Yeah.
So there is that little bit of a connection. But yeah, no, she's not. But I'm excited. I was a big Beth Phoenix fan. I know probably a lot of people maybe weren't or don't know who she was. But she was awesome, man. She was strong, and she could fight with. She wrestled in the Royal Rumble. She eliminated the Great Khali,
I know.
guys.
WWE's reminded of this on every freaking top 10 show of all time.
Well, there you have it. But it's cool to see her back. I like her glam slam. Dean Ambrose actually adopted that move. You'll know when you see it. And, dude, she's jacked, man.
Yeah, no, she is jacked. When she came out, I was like, on Raw, I was like, whoa, Sally.
Yeah, and man, imagine if Edge pisses her off. Like, I don't know, man. Who would win?
Well, anyways, no comment. No, she doesn't. I mean, whatever. It's cool, I guess. I guess she's going to be involved in WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, my guess is they're going to do that multi-woman tag team match. So we're going to have a tag team from SmackDown, a tag team from Raw, maybe a Legends tag team, or, I'm not sure, an NXT tag team as well, too, because they went down to visit NXT. J-Bomb and I have our fingers crossed for Io Shirai and Kairi Sane.
The Butt Pirates.
Yeah, and Natty and Beth Phoenix. I think those are the legends they're going to get. It doesn't look like Trish and Lita are going to happen, or at least they're keeping us up in the air about that. It's basically a secondary prize. But you know what? Natty and Beth, these guys have been the best of friends. I'm not trying to be all cheesy and sentimental. Beth Phoenix had an amazing Hall of Fame induction speech. I usually don't watch them or get that much into them, but I watched it with my girlfriend. She didn't even know who Beth Phoenix was, and she got emotional listening to it. And to have her come back and tag with her best friend, potentially win the tag team titles, which I think they're going to win it eventually, even if it's not at WrestleMania, just to kind of put that feather in both their caps and retire. I think that's kind of the last chapter for them. It's good. I'm all for it. So should be exciting. We'll see. The Iconics were teasing as well, challenging for the titles. So they might be your SmackDown team to be inserted. And NXT, we're not too sure yet. We'll find out because, guys, this week on NXT, it'll be Bianca Belair versus Io Shirai for the NXT Women's #1 contendership. That means NXT TakeOver in Brooklyn. It's either going to be Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai, would be amazing, or Bianca Belair, which we've seen before. And Jay doesn't think is as amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm not too into her. You gotta, I don't know, it's confusing. Maybe she'll do double duty. Maybe she'll do TakeOver and then still show up on WrestleMania. But I gotta think
if she loses against Shayna, then yeah, she might
she's
show
gonna
up
lose.
the tag team.
I don't think she's got a chance at winning that title yet.
Are you kidding me? She's regarded as one of the best wrestlers in the world in terms of being a female.
Well, look, it's not real. No, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just shut up. It's not her time.
Me, damn it.
It's not her time, and the butt pirates have a long way of butt pirating ahead of them.
Well, that's it. It kind of sidetracks what they're doing as a tag team. So it makes me think that Bianca might win this one actually, because I don't know. A lot of fans were kind of like patting her on the back for the match she had with Shayna at last TakeOver.
No, I could see Io Shirai beating Bianca Belair and then facing off against Shayna Baszler at TakeOver, losing, and then still going back to WrestleMania.
Maybe.
And that, in my opinion, would make your statement about her being regarded as one of the best wrestlers in the world. That I would agree with you on that.
Well, man, go check out some of her stuff on the indie scene, guys. A lot of these people that you see coming up, and this isn't just the Japanese wrestlers. A lot of these women have had amazing matches, but Io specifically, love the work. I was huge into Kairi and Asuka as well, too, on the indie scene, but Io is something special, guys. Check her out. Lots of good matches. I just hope being called up from NXT is not going to be the death of her. Case in point this week, guys, EC3 wrestled on main event, and he lost against Tyler Breeze. So how low can you go?
Who gives a fuck? EC3's a bum. You called it. You were like, I don't like this guy, and I don't think anybody else does. I think he was an Impact. Everybody liked him in Impact, right? I don't think people from Impact... I think Vince McMahon brings people from Impact to NXT to build them up, just to smash them on the main roster and be like, Bobby Roode.
He's definitely. I don't think that's a question. We've seen that many, many times in the past, dating back till whenever. It definitely can be the case. So EC3, we'll see if anything ever happens. But not looking very good for that guy. Poor. I'd say poor EC3, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
so
who gives? Horrible promo this week on Raw, and it's rare.
Whose?
What's that?
Whose? Because there's usually many.
Triple H and Batista was just a shit show of Batista spitting all over the place. That was ridiculous. I don't know why he couldn't keep spitting in his mouth. And they just kept repeating themselves. When I even texted you, I was like, is there something I'm missing here? Does Batista want something? I thought it was obvious that it was going to be a match at WrestleMania. I didn't think that they would make such a big deal about it hasn't been named yet. I don't know. It was just a weird promo for me. I didn't understand it.
I felt this week they did a lot of like, you want a WrestleMania match? You want a WrestleMania match? Like it was all like 3 or 4 WrestleMania matches just came to fruition this week.
But I thought it was already like written in stone that it was happening, all those matches.
Nah, I think people knew. It just wasn't. Nobody pointed to the sign. I guess that was it.
They gotta stop pointing that fucking sign, man. Really, honestly, I don't want to be a dick there. Pointed it after you win Royal Rumble. Pointed it on the last Raw going to WrestleMania. That's it, man. If you're not on the main event,
or do it during the commercial when we don't have to see it.
But dude, WrestleMania moments, okay? When we were growing up, and I think we've talked about this probably last year, probably every year around WrestleMania. WrestleMania moments, there's only one per WrestleMania. There's not one per match or one per wrestler. That's how it should be. Like, I'm thinking WrestleMania...
I disagree with you.
Oh, I'm saying real WrestleMania moments. You can't just say, like, I don't know, Usos had a match at WrestleMania. That's their WrestleMania match. You know, Beth Phoenix and Natty are in a tag team together. That's their WrestleMania moment. No, WrestleMania moments to me are like Shawn Michaels beating Bret Hart in that Iron Man match.
What was that?
Yeah.
Say
Shawn
it
Michaels
again.
beating Bret Hart in the Iron Man match. That's a WrestleMania moment.
I agree with you. There are specific WrestleMania moments. I think they're used too frequently. They're hoard around. But I don't agree that there should only be one, or there can only be one per pay-per-view. It's up to the wrestlers to kind of bring that to fruition. But, you know, moments that come to my mind are like, let's think about Kalisto. Wasn't it WrestleMania where he did that, the Del Sol on the ladder, and then Uso fell backwards like 10 feet through another ladder?
Yeah.
Like, that was a memorable moment. That, for me, is a WrestleMania moment.
It was.
Stuff like that sticks out. They can put on the highlight reels from years and years to come.
I'm almost sure it wasn't
Beth Phoenix,
WrestleMania, though.
Beth Phoenix. Well, let's say it was at WrestleMania. It would have been for me a WrestleMania.
I don't feel like that's a WrestleMania
Maybe you are
moment.
proving me right then. If I don't even know which
I
pay per view
don't
it was
think that's
on.
a WrestleMania moment. I'm saying that, like, you remember where you were when you saw that. When you woke up the next day, you were thinking about it. It changes wrestling going forward. It's not just like Samoa. Okay, hold on.
It was TLC, man. I'm an idiot.
Okay, let's say Finn Balor wins the IC title back at WrestleMania. Michael Cole's gonna fucking say Finn Balor's got his WrestleMania moment.
No, that's not a WrestleMania moment.
No, that's
I agree
not a
with you on that.
WrestleMania moment.
Yes.
And
But I will say, Beth Phoenix winning and Matt and Natty winning the tag team titles after she comes out of retirement and they end their
Okay,
career
no, if they
kind of
win.
on that
Okay,
note,
yes, you're right.
That is a WrestleMania moment.
I think it should be reserved for a couple per WrestleMania, and that's me being really generous.
Yeah, we're negotiating here. We're meeting halfway on this.
All right. You got me. No, that would be a pretty good moment, but don't tell me it's a WrestleMania moment. I don't need Michael Cole to tell me.
I know, it tells you everything. A wrestler's been there for 1 week, and he's vintage this and vintage that.
I don't think I'm in a good mood today, bro. I'm sorry, everybody.
Well, look, it's the road to WrestleMania. I think this card's being thrown together last minute, a little sloppy. Look, I'm going to go back to this Triple H Batista promo.
Yeah, I got off track.
For me, I felt like Batista, it was almost like they arrived late at the arena and didn't have time to put this together and just improvised. Triple H, his promo was okay. Triple H did okay on his end. He called the guardians of the indie scene or whatever he called his bodyguards, which was funny because usually bodyguards are independent wrestlers. But yeah, Batista, he was a bit shaky. You know, it sounded like they were kind of setting up for a porno. You know, give me what you want. I know what you want. Give it to me. Give it to me. Oh, saliva. Yeah.
I'll take it. That's good.
It was weird and rushed and lazy and could have been done better. But whatever, man. Let's see how the match plays out. But yeah, it was.
I think the match is going to be fine.
It missed the mark. It missed the mark. The promo.
It missed these marks. It missed these marks. It's going to be a fine match. I'm excited to see Triple H at Mania. I say it every week. He's honestly, his entrance is the thing I'm looking forward to the most, I think. Like, as far as it goes for the spectacle of WrestleMania. He couldn't save a drowning Batista. Like, Triple H was good. He made funny jokes. He's always good on the mic. But he couldn't save a drowning Batista.
Well, I thought Batista forgot his lines at one point, too. And Triple H was just sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah, I liked that Triple H was doing that, but I was just like, fuck. This is bad. This is going on way too long.
And now they're making it seem like it's career versus career. It was kind of like slipped in the last second. It just wasn't like, okay, clearly now I'm thinking Batista is going to just lose against Triple H because Triple H is not retiring yet. And he won't retire to Batista, that's for sure.
Triple H will never retire.
Definitely not against Batista. So Batista just wants to come back, have one match, I guess one payday at WrestleMania against Triple H, and, you know, that's all she wrote, guys. So, yikes.
Speaking of all that she writes, Angle is going to be retiring in a farewell match at WrestleMania. I think this is a pretty cool moment that me and you are going to be there. As much as I said, Kurt Angle is that dog that needs to be put down. He redeemed himself, I think it was 2 weeks ago on Raw. He German suplexed Drew McIntyre. And in that one moment, I was like, hot damn.
Yeah, I saw you tweet all about that or talk about it. And you know what? You should give your hats off to Kurt Angle. That was all Drew, man.
I don't give a
Drew
shit.
fucking sold that shit. Drew sold that shit.
Wrestling's fake, man. It's always a two-man show to make a move work. And I've seen him suplex a lot of other superstars. I've seen him suplex Drew McIntyre before. That was the best one he's ever done.
Yeah, it was very good. And, yeah, I mean, watching Kurt Angle now to shelve himself, he was one of the best wrestlers of all time in terms of technicality. His matches with Chris Benoit were phenomenal.
Who?
His matches
Who?
with The Rock.
Who?
Well, I'm going to talk about him, guys. Too bad. Suck it. The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He made Stone Cold Steve Austin tap out when Stone Cold never tapped out. Shawn Michaels, some amazing matches there. He's had some phenomenal matches. And on that note, phenomenal. Wouldn't it be cool to see Angle go on a retirement tour in terms of, maybe next week he wrestles Shelton Benjamin, and then the week after that he wrestles maybe, who knows, AJ Styles, and then Samoa Joe, and then goes to WrestleMania for his final match. So he basically wrestles all these people that he had these big feuds with from his past. So that would be pretty cool, but I just feel like he can't really deliver on that same level. So
it would just be sad. It would be sad.
He looks slow. He looks tired. Basically, the three eyes. He's missing intensity. That's it.
Yeah.
He's missing that intensity that he used to have. So
he's missing the intelligence too. Not gonna lie. Let's be honest.
So who do you think he's gonna be wrestling at WrestleMania?
I think it's gonna be John Cena, just because of the whole ruthless aggression thing. I'd like it to be John Cena. I think I'd like it to be John Cena.
How long is that match going to be?
Short.
How physical is it going to be?
Not physical.
It might be really short. It might be terrible. We'll see. I think it's a good way to wrap up the story.
I think John will send him off in a really
Angle's
really
going to
good
lose.
way.
For sure. Angle will lose.
You have to lose in your back. You have to leave him in your back. But I think John's going to send him off really, really properly. And he's going to get the emotion in that building going. And me and you have always been pretty big Kurt Angle fans. I think at one point he was probably both of our favorites during the Attitude Era.
No, it wasn't my favorite, but he was definitely up there.
Like our favorite week to week. I'm talking like, you know what I mean? We would always laugh and reminisce the next day at school.
When you had the little cowboy hat on, or he drank the milk, or I remember this one. He had this tag team with a Triple H when they kept playing on this whole like homosexual angle ish. They're kind of, I think it was, they both got Irish whipped to each other in the corner, and the Triple H fell on his back. And then Kurt Angle fell, and his face landed on Triple H's crotch. Triple H was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Good times, man. They're always good times.
Yeah, Attitude Era was always fun. But nothing wrong with it, guys. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Just thought it was funny. We were talking about Drew.
Yep.
We were talking about the suplex that he took. Let's talk about Drew's savage beatdown of Dean Ambrose on Raw.
And Roman Reigns.
Yeah, Claymore kick. I think Rutgers called it. I mean, I wouldn't say he called it necessarily because I think this is just a given. Roman Reigns, I think we're going to see Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. And Rutgers has been saying all this time that they've been building up this Claymore kick just so Roman Reigns can kick out of it. And I think this is what we're going to end up seeing at WrestleMania. But to be fair, Roman Reigns kicks out of everything, so...
Yeah, I think he's going to kick out of everybody's finisher eventually. That Claymore kick to Drew on the stairs was, like on the railing.
To Dean,
was really cool.
Yeah.
Seeing Renee's reaction right there was kind of cool too. I thought that was pretty awesome.
I feel like they put a rail there just for this spot. I've never noticed a rail there before.
No, me neither. I was hoping that Drew was going to like do something to Renee. Not like physical, but just kind of like grab Dean and put his face in her face or some shit like that. The stabbing of the pencil
that was questionable.
was awesome, but
Yeah.
this is where you miss blading. If you stab somebody in the eye with a pencil, I think the match is over. I think a lot of things are over.
I think you're going to jail, maybe. Too.
I think that crosses some lines.
I thought it was funny though when he put Drew on that big case and he started wheeling it,
Yeah.
and it was just really slow and it went nowhere, and then it bumped into the other one, and Corey's like, "Yeah, I think it was disorienting." It's like that's all they had. It's like it didn't hurt.
Last week, we were going to talk about a topic, which was the slow death of Drew McIntyre. We scratched it out to talk about Samoa Joe winning the U.S. title, and I'm glad we did because I feel like this week was the rebirth of Drew McIntyre. He's no longer with Bobby Lashley and Baron Corbin, it seems. I'm happy that that's done with. I'm really excited about him going forward. I'm back on the wagon. They booked him right this week.
I'm still on the wagon. I was sad because I didn't know where he was headed for WrestleMania. Thank God Roman Reigns did come back for more than one reason, and this being one of them. Now, is this the match I'd want him to be in at WrestleMania? No,
It's a pretty
probably
big
not.
match for Drew, man.
It's definitely a huge match for Drew McIntyre. He's got to be happy going up against Roman Reigns. We all know it's just basically going to be a standard match against Roman Reigns. It'll be physical, and then eventually he'll get speared and he'll lose. But it'll be your big Roman Reigns feel-good WrestleMania match. And for him to be put in a match with Roman Reigns, who's their guy, it's a huge deal. So that is pretty cool to see.
I think it's going to be, like you said, a physical match. I think it's going to be a longer match. And I think there's going to be like a ton of false finishes. And I think Drew's going to come. I think he's going to beat the shit out of Roman.
I would love to see. Imagine he gets a win over Roman Reigns, man. They should allow him to get a loss once in a while. I don't think it's the right thing to do. I don't jump on my back.
I think it would be fine.
You know.
I think he would survive.
I think it'd be fine, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's
But, I really wanted that Drew McIntyre-John Cena match, and having Drew beat John Cena at WrestleMania, I think that would have been fantastic. The fact that he's like, I'm coming for you, John Cena. And then that just kind of fizzled out. They didn't even have a match. They could have had it on Raw or something or another pay-per-view. Never happened. So I'm a bit upset about that. And I think a big win for Drew McIntyre against Cena at WrestleMania would have put him in the right direction with the right kind of, momentum leading into the new season is what we call it after WrestleMania.
Yeah. No, I get it. I for match quality, I'd rather him fight Roman, though. I think it would be a better actual in-ring match. But yeah, I would give him momentum. But you got to think that WWE really is invested in this guy to have him be. Let's be honest. This is Roman Reigns' big return match on the biggest stage of them all. Win or lose, I think Drew's gonna walk out a winner. And
I could see this feud going longer past WrestleMania. These two guys. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Drew may pick up a win on Raw or on another pay-per-view following that. But I get it. It's going to be a big event. People are going to be happy to see Roman Reigns pick up a big win on the grandest stage of them all. So cool. Good for Drew. Good for Roman Reigns.
We have a note here in our production notes talking about Shane McMahon. Oh, I'm so sick of this storyline, man. This is, I think, you named it months ago. This is the least exciting thing on the WrestleMania card.
And it's all for his stupid reality show. Sorry, I won't say stupid, but it's all for his reality show.
Yeah, but it's unnecessary. It's so unnecessary, this match. I don't.
A lot of people are really excited, though, to see Shane as a heel. And you know what? I'm okay with it because he's kind of lame as a face.
He's lame as a heel, too.
I was going to say, his promo, not terrible, but so generic.
He's a
nothing
McMahon.
Special.
If you're gonna turn heel, okay, it should have been like we talked about with Daniel Bryan's return. It needs to be extremely evil, not like I'm sick of the fans, and I don't care about what you have to say, and you guys are stupid. No, it needs to be evil towards somebody that everybody loves, like really, really evil.
Well, imagine they took Shane's dad, pulled him off, shaved his mustache off, shaved his head or something. I don't know. It would have been cool if he did something like that or something more personal. For me, it was just a very generic heel promo. He got lots of heat when he attacked The Miz. That was successful, I'll admit.
It's
but
shitty
the
heat,
follow-up, yeah, the follow-up on SmackDown, the promo didn't do it for me. Didn't get me
That
there.
giant trophy drives me nuts every time I see it. They could have had...
He'll destroy it. Miz will destroy it or something's going to happen.
They need... Okay, if it is, in fact, to help push Miz and Maurice, get Maurice involved. I know she's pregnant, whatever. Have somebody show up at Maurice's house. You know what I mean? When they're a tag team still. Have somebody rob his house or be trying to scare his family, scare his mother-in-law, something along those lines. And then we find out it's Shane the whole time. Some crap like that. He's a McMahon. You can't just beat up your tag team partner, and that's not a good heel turn.
I feel like Stephanie and Vince have that heel shit down, and it's just Shane just doesn't got it down. At least not yet. We'll see what happens. We got a couple weeks leading into this. It's going to be interesting to see how Miz responds. I'm guessing we might see him next week on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But for me, one of the more stinker matches heading into WrestleMania, and not that excited. But there is one match they've thrown together. They've been teasing for a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
that I wasn't on board for this
Me
match
neither.
for a while.
We're talking about the same thing here.
Yeah. And we're talking about Randy Orton and AJ Styles.
Fucking right.
Not interested at all in these two guys. It seemed like it was lazy. These guys don't have a match. We're just going to put them together. But the promo was great.
So good.
I thought it was great. I thought the shots fired towards AJ were great. I thought the shots fired toward Orton, fantastic. Calling him out for his pose, his rip-off diamond cutter, using people like, he was basically saying everything I felt about Randy Orton.
Yeah. Baby,
I thought it was...
Baby, you've always needed a babysitter. That was such a good line.
That was a great line. And then, what tops it off for me is looking at these two men standing face-to-face. Dude, Randy Orton is huge.
He's fucking huge.
He's a very tall guy, and AJ Styles is small. And you see the size difference between these guys? Going to be really exciting to see what these guys can do in the ring. They had a dark match on SmackDown this week. AJ picked up the win, so it looks like they're practicing their match, I guess, or practicing their chemistry going into WrestleMania. It could be a really good match. So yeah, I'm okay with it. We'll see what happens, but funny so far. So we'll see what happens leading into WrestleMania.
We're definitely going to see a flying forearm turned into an RKO. I just hope that it's through a table to the outside. I think that would be a sweet moment to see. I think this is a good pairing. Randy Orton matches aren't usually that entertaining. Pair him with AJ, and I think that they can do it. Have they had a match before? They must have.
They have had matches before. There was actually, to your point of the Phenomenal Forum going into the RKO, they had a match where AJ went for the Phenomenal Forum, but faked it. And Randy Orton actually jumped to RKO him, and since he faked it, he fell and was like, oh!
Should do the too sweet sign there.
So they've done it, but who knows what they can do? I'm pretty sure if they could do a 450 splash into an RKO somehow.
I don't know how you can do it.
Maybe,
maybe he tries to do shooting star press into an RKO.
It's been done before. Ivan Bourne did it, and it looked good.
It looked very good.
I think they want... Yeah, we want to see something new and fresh. I think these guys are going to put on a good match. So, yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be interesting to see.
You know what I forgot to mention during Fastlane? I don't want to butcher his name. Mustafa Ali with his, corkscrew moonsault into Daniel Bryan's knee was a pretty cool spot.
Even the 450 he did or whatever it was on the apron, it was pretty good. He did a lot of. That's what I'm saying, man. And then even when I think Daniel Bryan he did the running drop kick and sent Mustafa Ali flying out of the ring into the barrier. I don't know, man. Here's the thing. So Mustafa Ali got inserted into this title match out of nowhere. People were really surprised. They thought it was going to be Kofi. So he automatically drew a lot of heat because of this. Because they're like, shit, we wanted Kofi. The same thing that happened when Batista won the Royal Rumble. They wanted Daniel Bryan, and they booed on him. I think people were over it, but I think he ate a lot of heat that night. But it was interesting to see him in there. Good opportunity for him. People on social media are like, this guy doesn't deserve it. He just came to the main roster. You're putting him in a WWE title match. Whatever, suck it up, man. Who cares? Exactly. It's Fastlane. Yeah. I felt bad for KO, not being in a one-on-one match. I think those guys could have delivered. But I thought he added something to the match. I thought it was good nonetheless. Just a little bit worried now about KO and what's going to be happening. This week, Mustafa and KO lost against Daniel Bryan and Rowan. So does that derail his road to WrestleMania? It seems like to some extent it is. I don't know what's going on with Kevin Owens. I don't know where he's going to be used in WrestleMania capacity. Maybe Sami Zayn. We'll see, but I hope this doesn't become a triple threat for the WWE title. They got to do this right. They got to do Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston. If they make it a triple threat, which they probably will ruin and do it, but for me, it needs to be that one-on-one match.
I think having KO replace Kofi and then having Mustafa Ali, the swerve that it's not Kofi being added to the match, making him fight the bar, and then still putting Mustafa Ali in the match is just this constant fuck you Kofi Kingston thing. So I think all ties into that, which is good. I would be okay with a 4-way at WrestleMania. Let's talk about Kofi Kingston. Right?
You want Kofi when he wins this, right? To make it perfect, to do this.
He's not winning it. I don't think he's winning it. I don't.
I'm unsure. I'm not sure. But if you have in a fatal 4-way match, there's a chance he could win it via the Fatal 4-Way. And that wouldn't be good for me. That'd be like a footnote win.
Yeah,
I want to
agree.
see him get that. I want to see him get that big win. Have him hold the title for like 2 months, 2 pay-per-views. That's it. And then we're done. We can move on, and we can call him a former champion. But I don't know. But one thing for me is I went back and I watched Fastlane. And I was a bit sour on what they did with Kofi and the Bar. But, you got to see the Bar, which I like.
Nah.
And you got to see him take on Kofi. I think it was actually a pretty good segment and a pretty good screw you by Vince McMahon. The only thing I would have changed, I would have had Kofi pick up the win.
I agree.
I would have had him roll up Cesaro or roll up Sheamus out of nowhere, pick up a win, a fluke win, let's call
Get
it.
a beat down right after.
That's it, and get a beat down right after. But if he would have got that win, fans would have liked it. It would have meant more, and you would be building up his credibility. Because I talked about this a month or so ago. If we're playing SmackDown versus Raw or WWE 2K20 or 19, whatever it is, Kofi Kingston is like a 79.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not going to put somebody who's a 79 incredibly believe he's going to win the title. You need to start building that number up.
That's true.
And I really feel like if he could have got that roll up, I think it would have done wonders for him. But look, now we have him coming out and begging McMahon, which I didn't like. I wasn't a fan of him.
I don't feel like he begged him. I don't feel like he begged him.
Vince, give me a chance. Like,
No. He even said, I'm not going to beg you. All I'm going to ask you, man to man, is what's it going to take for me to get my shot? And then they announced the gauntlet. And the gauntlet, to me, as much as gauntlet matches are fun, enough. What's with the boner for gauntlet matches lately? Especially...
Well, here's the thing, right? Kofi went through that prior gauntlet match. And McMahon even mentioned it this week. He said, you did really good during Elimination Chamber and in the gauntlet match. Yeah. Fans loved it. So they're being stupid and saying, well, let's do it all again because they loved it.
Look, I'm not going to use that analogy. Yeah, I am. Okay, you're banging your wife, right? She does something you like. If she continually doesn't stop doing that one thing, it gets a bit weird. Not weird, but you're like, okay, enough. Like, do something else. Change it up. And
well, yeah, when she does that one thing you like over and over and over, you don't like it as much anymore.
Exactly. So
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. We're getting a gauntlet match. It's going to be a tall order, man. He's got a lot of people to go through.
Why is Samoa Joe in a gauntlet match? I'm telling you, the curse of that fucking title. Why would you...
Well, at least he's being highlighted on something. I think a big part of it also is because he beat Samoa Joe. He pinned him in the last gauntlet match. So it's retribution for Samoa Joe. It's also like okay, I was saying that he should have beaten the Bar at Fastlane, which he should have. A roll-up would have been fine. Wouldn't have hurt the Bar. It's not like he knocked them out. But having him go up against, the Bar, Samoa Joe, Rowan. I think I'm missing somebody in there as well, too.
Yeah, the first guy that came out. I don't remember who it was either.
But they're going to have this really good... Randy Orton. So these are really credible people. These are all people that he's beaten to one degree at some point or another. But can he do them all one after the other, after the other, after the other? It seems like Rowan might be last. Does that mean maybe Harper's going to come out and help him? Was that going to sour it if somebody helps him? Like, how is he going to get through all of these people again? I have a hard time believing he's going to. So I think it'd be awesome if he does. He finds a way to do it on his own. But I could also see them having him being screwed, disqualified or something on the last person. He's going to win. He gets disqualified. And McMahon's like, nope. And they drag this on until the week before WrestleMania until they finally get him in there. Or maybe even at WrestleMania is when they finally do it, Like, maybe it's going to be KO and Daniel Bryan. And then something happens at WrestleMania where they put in Kofi Kingston into a triple threat or something. I don't know. But, yeah, we'll see. Gauntlet. You like the first one? You like the second one?
I liked Seth Rollins' gauntlet match. It was special.
That was a really good match. Yeah, he beat Cena too.
Excuse me. When they did Kofi Kingston, I was like, it's like a knockoff Seth Rollins gauntlet match. A third one, I don't know. I'm not a fan.
I liked the Kofi one just because I didn't expect Kofi to go far in that specific gauntlet match. Now it's like, okay, well clearly he's gonna make it through everybody but at least the last one maybe.
Yeah.
So I know what to expect.
Well, I don't know. There's some questions. I don't like Samoa Joe being there. That's the one that grinds my gears because, I'm not a huge Samoa Joe fan, but I do like titles, and I wish that a title holder wasn't in there. I feel like it's silly, especially this close to WrestleMania. Should be building.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what they're gonna do for that U.S. title. It seems like there's like Rey Mysterio got a pin this week on him on the U.S. champion,
Yeah.
so maybe they're gonna do a Rey versus Joe match. Rey's not there every week, so maybe next week's an okay week for Joe to do something else. Andrade and R-Truth, they were all involved in the tag team kind of match this week, so like, are they still in the U.S. title picture? I don't know. Maybe Joe's job this week is just like, look, he's the enforcer. You're not gonna get past Samoa Joe, and maybe that's a big part of it. Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, The Bar, Rowan. How is he going to get past all these
I don't
people?
know.
It seems exactly, and that's what's going to be hopefully the payoff. But we'll find out soon enough, leading into WrestleMania. And folks, it looks like this week they threw together like Shane versus The Miz. They're like WrestleMania. AJ versus Randy Orton. They're like WrestleMania, pointing at the signs. And AJ, when he pointed at that sign and challenged him, there was like no crowd reaction.
None.
The crowd was just like nothing whatsoever. They liked the jokes, but they were like, whatever. We knew this was going to happen, and You know, Triple H, Batista, we're going to wrestle at WrestleMania. So they're throwing all these matches together really quickly with a little bit of time left on the road to WrestleMania. The card is starting to shape up. You know, we're going to get Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins, Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair. Finally, we're going to see them all square off. Triple threat for the Raw Women's Championship. Buddy Murphy is going to be defending his championship in a tournament. I'm very excited for this match. I like 205 Live. I like Buddy Murphy. Right now, it's looking, it might be Tony Nese. It might be Cedric Alexander. It could be exciting. There was some good matches this week on 205 Live. Check it out if you're interested. And we'll also have Triple H, Batista, Kurt Angle versus To Be Determined, which should be John Cena,
Yep.
and Shane McMahon versus The Miz. That's what we're looking at currently. So the card is starting to take shape, and whether you like it or not, we are on the road to WrestleMania, folks.
Well, you know what? What better way to end the episode? We know what's going on at WrestleMania. We're going to be there, boys and girls. Follow us on Twitter @_Talkamania. Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast kicks from. Check out our friends over at The Chair Shot, Full Press Coverage, The Daily Smart, Blog Talk Radio, Bodyslam.net. Follow our partners, Full Press Wrestling @FPC_wrestling. www.prowrestlingtees.com/Talkamania for some merch. Still 25% off for the month of March. And don't forget to add us on Instagram @_Talkamania. On behalf of Talkamania, I'm out. Des, say bye.
Happy Rusev Day.